Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
So let's talk about Merab Dvalishvili, if I'm even pronouncing that thing right. I mean, what does this guy think he is? Do you think him calling out Sean O'Malley, hey, come on, bro, let's fight, let's do this. You're a champion, I'm a champion, I'm number one contender, why don't we fight? It doesn't work like that. Number one, the UFC sees your style and it sees how problematic it could be, even though your boy Aljamain didn't get it done. You're actually better at it than actually Aljo. At least Aljo will kind of go on his feet for a little bit before he actually decides to take you down. For somebody like Morab, that's all he knows. He's a pressure shoot fighter. Pressure, shoot. That's all he knows. And against a fight, and against a dangerous fight like he has against Sean O'Malley, what do you think, Morab, the UFC is going to do? They're going to skip you. Again, if you decide to hold out, there's so many things that could happen to you. Because you know what? And not only did it happen to me, but it also happened to the cash cow, Conor McGregor. I mean, they're gonna just dry you out. You're not gonna get. You're just not the next person in line. Pull a stunt, do something that you will get the champion to be able to call you out. But guess what? Sean O'Malley continues to keep calling out Chito Vera. You understand what I'm saying? Typically, the way this works as a champion is you have leverage, the UFC has leverage, and then the champion and the UFC, if they're in line with the champion, then they're able to bring this middle guy in, whoever it is that you actually want to fight, because I've done it. I've done it with Jose Aldo after losing to Marlon Moraes. Yeah, we did not fight on May 9th of 2020 due to COVID, but I had already orchestrated all this where I was able to help market my fight with Jose Aldo, even though he lost to Marlon Moraes, and I was able to pretty much, sell to the UFC. The UFC was able to back me up. Jose Aldo started kind of trash talking, and it was created. You're not getting that buzz, Merab, or should I say Murat. You're not getting that buzz with Sean O'Malley. There's not just, then Sean O'Malley's not going to wake up, nor is Dana White going to wake him, say, hey, you are this week's sweepstake winner. Boom, boom, boom. You get the title shot. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. Unfortunately, this isn't the Olympics. This isn't where you're going to be in a 16-man bracket. You know that within those 2 days, somebody's going to be crowned the absolute best in the world. You don't know who you're going to wrestle. In this situation, the UFC is a marketing company. There's a lot of guys, I'm not going to mention who, or should I, that have belts that are probably not the best guys in the world. You could be a UFC champion with the belt, and doesn't mean you're the absolute best in the world. You see, it's not the Olympic Games. It's not like that. There's an entertainment value that you're not understanding nor get it. Number one, and then let's go back. Let's put myself in the situation of Dana White. What is Dana White thinking? What is he doing? You don't want to fight Aljamain Sterling. You guys are buddy-buddy. It seems like you're his butt plug now. Like, I really don't get it. Like, to me, honestly, I'd fight any of my friends for the belt. And I think they all know that, because I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, too. Because I live with like 4 or 5 different Brazilians. And, hey, everybody was saying, hey, guys, no, we'll never fight each other, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I did? I ended up pulling up a picture of the UFC belt. And I was like, hey, guys, you guys wouldn't fight me for this? And this is before I came champion. I says, I will smash each and every one of you if it came down to this actual belt. You see, that's the difference in mentality. Merab, you don't have weight. As a matter of fact, I don't think the UFC is very fond of you from what I'm hearing. So you have a couple options. One, you wait out and you dry yourself out. And who knows, man, I think the UFC is probably thinking about doing something with you. Dry you out and just not let you fight ever again. Or you could fight the Triple C. You can fight the Triple C alongside of your other buddy, the Georgian, on May 20th. And I think that's suitable. You get past through somebody like myself, then you know what? Then you have a little more leverage. But as of right now, you sitting out and weighing out, the UFC is gonna dry you out. Then you have Nurmagomedov coming in. Then you have Corey Sandhagen coming in. I mean, these guys are more likely probably gonna eventually end up fighting. So you know what happens with that, Morab? They're gonna keep bumping you down. They're going to keep bumping you down because you don't want to fight your boyfriend, Aljamain Sterling. Now, let's talk about Aljamain Sterling a little bit. Whether I win or lose, I'm going up. That also affects you, too. You know why it affects you? Because you're no longer the #1 contender. I want to say that the champion who defended his belt 3 times is a #1 contender. You lose that slot. And then, not just that, but you don't want to fight him. You see, the fight between you and him is still there. And I get it. You guys will not fight each other. I get it. You are not going to fight each other. So I'm kind of wasting my mind. I just want you to understand what is it that the UFC is actually thinking and how is it that it's actually going to go down. You know, Sean O'Malley, I think if anybody had a better case of fighting him, it was really, besides the Cheeto fight, which I still believe Cheeto's going to beat him just based on grit and you know, having the ability of having good defense. But it was me. You know, if there's anybody who Sean O'Malley has been replying back and forth and he's been saying short jokes and things like that, dude, I welcome it. Give it to me. Because you know what it's doing? It's creating a storyline. It's creating a topic where is it that eventually when we do end up fighting, the history's already there. He's not doing that with you, Merab. That's not the way it is. And obviously, I think it makes sense. You know, there's two options for me. Is it that I would take it? I either fight Aljamain again or you. Those are the two guys that I want. Like, that's it. Like, I don't want anything else, nobody else. I mean, I'll take it if it is that you do want to sit out thinking you have all this power. But that's what it is, man. I don't know how else that I could cut it, slice it, or dice it. I mean, you got hair plants on your head. Now, why don't you get some of those hair implants and put it on your damn balls? I'll see you January 20th. What you got for me, Matthew?
So you mentioned that Morab is playing a dangerous game. He could fall out of favor with the UFC. You think there's any chance that he could get cut from the roster for declining fights?
They could. I mean, that's another thing that you're going to have to really realize. What other value do you win other than having a spectacular performance and being a guy like Peter Yan? Like, what else? Like, what else do you have, Morab? And I feel like I'm picking on you. I don't want to pick on you, but I am picking on you. That makes any sense. You will get cut by the UFC, man. You don't bring any spectacular finishes or knockouts or submissions. Yeah, you're beating people by decision. You wrestle the whole damn time. You get people against the cage. It's not entertainment enough for the UFC to be like, oh, he deserves more money. Oh, he deserves a title shot. They won't do that. They will cut you. They've cut people in the past. I want to say they've cut. They've warned people for doing that. Go back and think of a guy like Colby Covington. They're getting ready to cut him. You either need to up your stick and become that heel or take the fights that the UFC is actually giving you. They're going to make you go through that. You're not going to get it, man. I think that's where I stand right now because it not only does Merab, I mean, it affects a little bit of the division, but the person who it really affects more than anything is him. So whether it's his right or his left hand that needs to be surgically, or if it's already, repaired, like he needs to start thinking about the fight game. And he needs to start maybe up his heel, maybe continue to keep wearing that jacket or switch it up, but do something. It's hard for you to say that you want to follow, like don't follow Aljamain Sterling what he's doing. Because again, it's not doing him or you any favors. I mean, look, think about it. After Aljamain having the most title defenses in Bantamweight history, even though, Academy Award one of them, he's not getting the title shot. So what does that tell you? You sit out, the people, you don't have the following, the people are not going to be around you to really kind of wait and see what is it that Merab's going to do. You slowly become old news. The Hamza Chimaev fight is coming up. The Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira is coming up. John Jones is coming up. Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira is coming up. You think going to be stuck on Merab Dvalishvili, the number one contender, the number two contender? It's not that way. Like I said before, January 20th, that date is open. See you soon, precious.